Hey guys, what is going on? RedMaster here, and welcome back to this episode of Cards and Castles TV commentary. I think that came out a little too fast. Hope you guys have had a nice little holiday break, or at least maybe some of you are still enjoying your holiday break or vacation, whatever that might be. I know I certainly did. Of course, I kind of took a little break myself from the channel to kind of enjoy the holidays, enjoy time with family, all that good stuff. But we are back here, and I did want to take it a little bit of a more chill video today, going again, showing off a TV commentary, because of course I don't want to rank anything. The season ends pretty much in about 2 days. I think the reset is on Wednesday, so I'm holding off on rank stuff until, of course, that season reset happens. But as I was going through Cards TV, right, for trying to find the matches to show you guys what matches I'm going to commentate on, one thing stood out to me, and it was sort of a fun little thing to kind of witness for, like, we'll witness on the thing or on the TV, picking out the matches and whatnot. I noticed that there was a series from Drink, a series of 3 matches, and of course I think Drink we've had on the commentary before. I think we've commentated on some of his matches, but what kind of what struck out to me the most looking at his matches, just from a TV perspective, from like that selection perspective, I noticed he was running a mono druid deck list, and that to me was kind of curious, because some of you are already aware, the druid faction is pretty limited in the cards that they have. They don't have as many cards as the pirates, the warlocks. They're the fairly the newest faction, and they don't, again, have a lot of resources. So I was wondering, alright, I wonder how well the mono druid deck list did. And of course, he did go against some decks that we are familiar with, some that we have, seen as part of the meta. Some of the competitive scene decks made an appearance against him. So I kind of wanted to show you guys that today, his series of 3 matches, and just show you the idea of mono druid and how that would work out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Drink's first matchup. That would be match number 1. Alright, so first match is zaansbane taking on Drink's Mono Druid. So Zaan's running the Pirate Crusader, so we could assume maybe that's going to be a little bit of Pirate Crusader greed, obviously. We'll see as the match progresses, though. And it's going to be curious to see what kind of options Drink actually runs for his deck, whether it's all Druids, or if we're going to see a bit of neutral action in here as well. We're going to see a injured Trent start the match off up against a Master Thief. Zaan's going to take the opportunity with that Master Thief invest to set up a School of Knowledge, getting some free draw from a coin, and of course bringing out the Lumberjack as well, do a little bit of interception, if you will. Tree going to go ahead and trade with that Lumberjack, giving Zaan some more draw, and meanwhile summoning the Bear Hog, which is actually a pretty good, how would you call it? It's a pretty good interceptor for the school, because of course Bear Hog running Rampage, so it can chomp the building, chomp the castle as well as the building. But let's see, a Parrot Rush is going to come in ahead and slightly put a stop to, I guess, that injured Trent. Master Thief being cut down by Bear Hog after a bit of damage on the castle there. We do see the Spiny come out. Spiny, a great removal for that School of Knowledge. So now Zaan's running on no School of Knowledge draw. Blacksmith's going to go help out, though, a little bit here. We see the Parrot trading with the Spiny. Blacksmith finishing off the Bear Hog, and of course throwing it back to Drink after that. We do see a Northland's Bear being played. Not too bad. Decent body, almost like a Barbarian for Druids, if you will, except 1 more health and 1 less attack. Anyway, onslaught from zaansbane, going to get a little draw for himself there after bleeding out the bear just a little bit. We're going to see probably, I imagine, a Forest Watcher, perhaps. Be a good kill on the Parrot. We do see a Forest Watcher, yep. So Parrot takes a little bit of damage, so does the castle. And of course, it goes back to Zaan after that, because that was a majority of Drink's gold there. We do see a Dragon's Horde plus Merchant's Favor set up for a Smuggling Ring. So a couple of minor spells. Now, Fear, Shockwave, Curse of Exhaustion, and Fear. Maybe see the Fear be played. See a Curse, and we see a Shockwave. So ultimately, no Fear being played. I guess trying to just remove that bear completely. I mean, the bear will die in the following turn, so not much Drink can really do with it. Titan Watcher, or Forest Watcher, excuse me, meanwhile, chomping down the castle a little bit, and of course the second one being brought out to do some additional damage. Going back to Zanzo, he does have 11 gold, excuse me, and of course murders one of those Titan Watchers, Forest Watchers. I always get confused and bring out a Southward Captain as well. He does leave that slightly weaker Forest Watcher alone, which will get another swing on the castle there. We do see another 3 damage, followed up by a Centaur as well as a Chromok. So, of course, Zaan looking a little bit like he's in trouble here, I think, going into the final stage of the match. Mercenary Execution on the Forest Watcher. Smuggling Ring maybe gets a cheap spell, hopefully, maybe. Does get an ambush, which will help him get rid of the Centaur, and of course, it will keep him alive, just barely, because if Gromot connects, it's not enough to take down the castle. However, we do see the Spiny just drawn into Drink's hand. He'll use that to finish off the game, and that is win number 1 for Drink using these Mono Druids. Going up against a fairly competitive deck in the form of the Greed, the school draws, so it's kind of a good feel-good moment to see that deck kind of take up a win against that kind of deck. And I think he played it really well. Kind of kept the pressure up. He kept things aggressive, which is kind of what you need to do, especially when you're running a color that you don't have the draw from the Crusaders. You don't got the burn. You don't got the gold gain. You kind of just have to be aggressive, and that's what Drink really did here. And we'll see if that same strategy works going forward in his other matches here, because we do have 2 more left. So let's go ahead and get to that second match right now. Alright, and the second Drink match of the day will be Drink taking on Chacha, so this time a Warlock Ninja, so potentially some Awakening stuff going on here, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Drink already, of course, getting that 1 win earlier against a slightly more competitive deck, so we'll see if he can bring out a second win against maybe a similarly competitive deck. We're not sure what Chacha is running, though. Both will pass their first turns, look like. Same with Drink on his second. Chacha, though, of course, Metal Bravery coming out now, bringing out the Mage Apprentice, so a little bit of Awaken action. We do get some slight confirmation there that we do see maybe an Awaken base deck. Bearhawk coming out from Drink. Going to be a good way to push some aggression onto that Mage Apprentice. Of course, if he threw it up a little bit farther, then he probably would have been able to chomp the building, forcing Chacha to remove that Mage Apprentice. But we did see Bearhawk played a bit more defensively. Meanwhile, Chacha, after the Bearhawk was summoned, we did see the Magic Eater come out. So that could be problematic for Drink. Of course, if that thing gets too big too quickly, going to be some big issues because, of course, Drink doesn't run the hard removal to deal with that. And, of course, Mage Apprentice did a little bit more of a push upwards, so a bit more aggressive, but also kind of staying in the shadows just a little bit here. And, of course, Drink responded with a Bear, which is going to be, I guess, the bigger tank moving in, hopefully, or at least he may be looking for some early damage. We mentioned in the last game that he does have to kind of be a little bit more aggressive with this deck. I think that's its sort of secret, a little trick there. So we'll see if he kind of continues that way of thinking into the rest of this matchup. We do see the Mage Apprentice do a retreat back. Army of the Damned coming out as well. That's a bit curious. I'm not really... Maybe it's an Awakened Undead hybrid from Chacha. I'm, again, not super sure. Do you see the Bear going to go and take a swing? Bear Hog chomping down the zombies a little bit there. And, of course, the Spiny that was just drawn into Drink's hand going to be used to take out the Mage Apprentice. So, good use of the companions there to remove a couple bits of damage from the board. And, of course, the injured Trent coming out as well to maybe look to heal that Magic Eater if possible. We do see a Disintegrate though, and that Spiny, of course, that will give a little bit of more, a little bit of power, excuse me, to the Magic Eater. Of course, Swiftness being played on it as well. So, of course, not only a stronger Eater, but of course a very fast one as well. Drink though has the perfect counter to this. It looks like we see another Spiny in his hand. Manic, we're going to come out now, protect the Bear. That's good, keeping your Bear alive and away from the danger. And as far as Spiny, like I said, going to finish off that Eater. So again, like we said, keeping up the aggression, keeping up the pressure, very good for Drink here. Dragon's Fire, they're going to do a little bit of cleanup, although not really enough. That Zombie not going to do a whole lot to that remaining health of the Bear. Forest Watcher going to come out now, smack the Zombie out, and of course do a little bit more castle damage. Bear taking a big swipe as well. So pushing him down to 9 health, I would say is pretty good here. We'll see if Chacha can respond. Do see a Banshee, so that will clean up the Bear, it looks like. And of course, Chacha gets a Merchant's Favor from it. Not really. Well, I guess he will use it. After summoning an Acolyte, he'll bring out a Flame Prince as well. Not too bad. I think Drink going to go ahead and stomp the Flame Prince. Yep, that is the play. So that way, of course, that thing doesn't really grow into anything too big. Do see one of the Pack of Wolves being played as well. So again, I do like the Pack of Wolves inclusion here. Sort of like a self-synergizing card, if you will, getting the wolves to all use their last will to help each other. If one dies, the remaining grow stronger, and with more packs, it's going to mean a whole lot more, and more beasts in general, actually, which I think might be a factor of Drink's deck here. But we do see that Titan Watcher just get cleaned up. Forest Watcher, I keep messing that up. Fear as well being pushing back one of those wolves. The rest of them looks like they're being brought up. Pack of wolves playing a second, or being played a second time, excuse me, as well. And of course, I mean, the Dragon's Fire could clean this up, but we did know Chacha just used his only Dragon's Fire, as far as we know. Banshee coming out from engine training, it looks like, chopping down one of those wolves. So again, the other's getting buffed out. And Cloak of Ice actually a very strong pull. That's going to be a perfect little blockage right there. So 3 of Drink's zombies going to go ahead and get cleaned up. They are going to be buffed from another wolf takedown, but ultimately not being able to move here. I just want to take a note of that position real quick, because I mean, this is, he can't, Drink has no real way to get to the zombie unless he pulled a companion, which unfortunately the bear hog that we just see him drew, not going to be what he's looking for. But that's a very good way to, of course, prevent these wolves from really doing anything in this matchup. I mean, if this top wolf, excuse me, was back here, then of course Drink would have had a chance. Of course, this wolf would have come up, smack that other one, smack the zombie, if you will, and of course all the wolves would have been freed. But the position right now does not really help Drink, and I think that's a great way to hold off these wolves here. But anyway, moving on. We do have some match to go. We'll see if Drink maybe finds a way to get around that zombie. We do see Bear Hogs being played, which, I mean, given how much card, or given what types of cards Drink has in his hand, it's the play to make. He knows that if these wolves are going to start dying, he might as well get those buffs to reinforce the Bear Hogs. We'll see if Chacha has to respond to the Bear Hogs first, or the wolves. We do see one of the wolves being taken down from the Darkbender, another Bear Hog being weakened by, or at least, no, the Bear Hog being weakened by the Acolyte, yes, but then Eternal Darkness is going to come in and be a whole lot of trouble for Drink. Again, doesn't really, he's running neutrals, which is surprising. Trap card being activated is the Secret Dragon, of course, one of those zombies being buffed into a Flame Drake. Going to do a lot of explosive damage in the back there. We do see a couple things being taken out here, a couple zombies falling here and there, trades being made, but ultimately not a really good position for Drink moving into the second matchup here, or at least the later halves of the second matchup. We still got a bunch of zombies, any of which you turn to a Rakanoth. There's a Dragon's Fire, which clears off the Elvish Hunter. The tree weakens the wolves, which of course Darkbender will kill off one. Acolyte weakens another for another zombie spawn. And this is going to be a real problem for Drink. I don't, looking at the board right now, he's actually at no cards, as you can see here in his hand. He's got the Forest Watcher, which will actually clear off that Cloak of Ice. Yep, we see it being played right there. Kills off 2 zombies, weakens the Flux. I think he's going to try and continue to push the castle as much as he can. Maybe if he can out-smack the castle. That's his idea. Fear pushing back one of the wolves there. Arcfire killing off the Titan of the Forest Watcher. Of course, Darkbender damaging the wolf, being killed off by that Acolyte. And of course, the wolf will be buffed, but not going to really matter here. All 3 of those zombies will take out the wolf, leaving Drink with no units on the board. Flux can go take a shot at the castle, gets a Hibernate, Merchant's Favor. Zombie takes a smack as well. And yeah, not really a whole lot that Drink, I think, can recover from here. If he had some sort of mass burn, maybe. If he had a swordsman in that early phase of Eternal Darkness, he might have been able to do something good with that. But we just saw that he didn't have it. He didn't really. I don't think he ran it. But judging by this deck, I mean, it seems like he doesn't run any neutrals, which is surprising to me. Because even if you run an all Druid, or at least if you run a mono deck, is what I'm trying to say, you're gonna want some form of neutral card in this deck. Lumberjack, global buffs, all of them are useful. So again, slightly surprising here, but yeah, I mean, Chacha going to go ahead and do a bit of cleanup here. Darkbender being pushed aggressively, even hell, put the Alpha Strike on it just to put the exclamation point on it. Faith Everlasting healing up the castle to avoid any sort of companion shenanigans. And yeah, I don't think Drink's got a whole lot to do here, because even if he kills off the board, he needs to clear up the board, essentially, is what he needs to do. But he doesn't have the healing, so sudden death is going to kill him off anyway. So the best he can do is try to clean up as most as he can. Do see the Bear Smack the Flux Daves, the Wolf Trent combination finishing off the Darkbender Beastmaster to the Zombie. And yeah, that's going to be all she wrote for this matchup here. So, I mean, it's not too bad for Drink's record here. He is currently 1-1, it looks like, which, again, not too bad, but there is one more match to go here in his little series, and hopefully after this loss we can see Drink pull off another win here, because that's kind of what he needs. That's going to be the feel-good moment to this video, hopefully, if Drink wins his 3rd matchup, which we have no idea if it happens, but we'll go ahead and see right now. Alright, and the final matchup for Drink today is him taking on Potfield. I think it's just Potfield. I don't know if the E is silent or not. But anyway, Potfield running, it looks like a Crusader Viking, so maybe some free shenanigans, maybe War Party. If it's War Party, then Drink should have a slight advantage if he's, being a bit more aggressive here. But again, only the match will tell. We'll see what happens. So, of course, both players looking to pass their first turns. Yep, nothing from Pot. We've got a pass on Drink from turn 2, it looks like, as well. Gonna respond with a minor from Pot side of the field, looks like. Alright, that's fair. Looks like a Mana Core being brought in to block that, which is, of course, it's going to be an even trade if things go through here. Flying Books coming out from Pot, right? So from looking for more draw, I guess. Nothing too serious. Meanwhile, Mana Core going to retreat. Bring out the Wolves, which is nice in theory, but Mana Core is going to absorb the Wolf damage, so... Alright, Lightning Blade. I'm going to do a bit of early damage here. Not only taking out the Mana Core, but connecting as well to take out the Wolf and damage Castle. Great use of the Lightning Blade there, even though, you may want to save that for later, but that's okay. Looks like a Injured Trent and Spiny combination here will kill off the Miner and do a little bit of cast damage to get even going into this matchup. Do see a trap going down for the Viking Crusader deck, so my money is on Might of the Minotaur maybe. Or Deflecting Shield, but I think it's more maybe Might of the Minotaur. And of course, like I mentioned here, Drink's going to be a bit more aggressive. Of course, the Forest Watcher, the Spiny, all dealing castle damage, meanwhile leaving the book here. And, okay, Frost Giant, going to be the response to that. Freezes off the Spiny, kills off the Forest Watcher, Book's doing more castle damage. And I do think that Drink kind of does have to get rid of this book somehow. Beastmaster would be a great way to do so. But of course, the Spiny's being on the field, even if Beastmaster has to die, I do think it's better than taking 3 damage every turn here. And even if you watch this, is Forest Revolt going to go ahead and ignore the Flying Books too, which, again, like, if it is a Might of the Minotaur, I would say take it. It's better than being dealt damage every turn where you cannot heal. Drink can't get rid of this damage, the more Book puts in. So it's going to be harder for him to kind of keep... I mean, he's keeping up some good aggression. He's forcing Pot on defense. He can't really reinforce this Book because he's got to protect all the units coming down the line here. So, I mean, we'll see who kind of out-aggressions the other one here. I think that's sort of the aim of the game at this point. We do see a Crumbling Archives go down. Lich as well, freezing off that Trent and one of the Spinies. The Frost Giant, killing off the Frozen Spiny. Book's taking another 3 from the castle, and it's going to keep going here. Centaur going down, Centaur dealing some more castle damage. Spiny going to go ahead and actually, instead of hitting castle, hits the Crumbling Archives, cutting off the draw there. Bear Hog as well, looking to strike castle, and again, ignoring the books. He's going to kind of keep pushing for face here. And big problem, not problem number 1, but big problem is that Freezing Pillar, of course, cutting off his Centaur and his Spiny from being used. And, of course, making books, at least at this point, a mandatory takedown. Although he did leave ways to expose the trap. Of course, I imagine now that Frost Giant's out to block, Bear Hog going to go ahead and smack the Frost Giant, triggering whatever trap this is, and leaving Beastmaster to clean up the books here, which, I assume is the play. I assume it is the play here. Or Trent, I guess whatever unit wanted to hit first, or at all, really. And of course, Pack of Wolves being the card to answer that. And actually, Pack of Wolves is better, because it does mean that Bear Hog getting bit more buffs to take down the Frost Giant. So, I will admit Pack of Wolves was the better move instead of Beastmaster in that moment. And of course, that does leave Pot with just the Lich here, which of course takes on that Frozen Centaur. Crack's going to come out and smack the Spiny as well. That's a bit problematic for Drink. I don't think Mono Druid is very capable of taking down a big Craxus by itself without a lot of buff. We do see Fenrir. Maybe Fenrir going to be the card to pick things up here. We do see a Beastmaster come out. Alright, Elvish Hunter as well. One of those wolves taking up the Salahar Riders challenge, being cut down by the Riders' Last Will. Everything else moves a little bit forward, except for the Beastmaster, which slightly moves back. Okay, alright. I mean, okay, well, there's Arbiter. Arbiter will end the game, unfortunately, thanks to how Arbiter works. Okay. I mean, there was one glaring issue with that match that I think Drake needed to take care of, and that was the books. Even though he had the Might of the Minotaur trap, or at least maybe if he knew it was Might of the Minotaur, maybe thinking, hey, I can't really deal with, a 6/6 books if it's on my castle. he had the Beastmaster. I mean, throw down a wolf plus maybe a bear. I mean, that combination would have taken down the books. I guess he had to be lucky for that. But still, like, even if the Spinies had to die, at least you wouldn't be taking damage every time. I mean, we did talk about the aggression and how that was sort of his strategy, which he did keep to as much as it pained him. But I do think what ultimately took down Drink in this particular matchup was the idea that he just kept letting books chip away until it was just in a position where Arbiter can come in, smack down the castle, and that be the end of the game. So, unfortunately, Drink does not receive the happy ending in this video. He does go 1-2, but did get a win, though, over Greed, which is pretty nice. Losing to the, I guess, weird freeze deck that was from Pot's side of the field. I do think this is maybe more of a freeze deck. I mean, Frost Giant, Lich Pillar, all freeze elements, so it makes sense. And, of course, the other matchup, I'm trying to remember which one. Oh, the weird Awakened Undead variant that existed. So, but overall, I do applaud Drink for running a mono druid in this format, if you will. I mean, considering druids don't have a lot of cards at all, and me assuming that I think he went through this thing without any neutrals, which is kind of another mind-boggling fact. The fact that he didn't run the draw support from Lumberjack, he didn't run the global buffs from Blacksmith or Armory. He just kind of went, hey, I want to run an all-druid deck, and stuck to that by only going druid cards. I do think that is a pretty interesting way to go about it. But ultimately, I would say it made for an entertaining watch for sure. So I do want to give that quick shout out to Drink for that. But again, big congratulations to Potfield for winning this matchup. Alright, folks, with that being said, I hope you did enjoy this edition of TV Commentary. And what you guys thought of Drink's matches by leaving your thoughts down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on that all-mono, or at least that all-druid mono deck? I do think it was pretty bold of him to run a completely mono druid without any neutrals, it looked like. Which, again, surprising fact, but I do think it was, again, an entertaining watch, to say the least. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that down in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, if you haven't done so, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Help show your support the channel and help us grow by clicking that subscribe button at no additional cost to you. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I think that's it for me for now. So, until next time, stay gaming.